Okay, so we are going to get into tincture making. I have my jar full. I wonder if you can see that better. I've got my jar pretty full. I have it pushed down, but not like smashed in there, if that makes sense. So let's push down. And you're basically going to take, I feel like the screen is dark, I'm sorry if it is. Yeah, that's way better. Okay. So, you're going to take some vodka. Alcohol of any kind will work, actually. There are ways to make tinctures that are, some people don't drink alcohol. Or, they're nervous about making a tincture with alcohol. You can use glycerin, but glycerin is also a form of alcohol. It's just not like, the kind that you party with. So that being said, I use alcohol. I have used gin, bourbon, all kinds of different alcohols. Now, it's best to get 100 proof alcohol, but you don't have to. The reason I say 100 proof is because that is, you're getting your alcohol soluble properties out of the plant, okay? And then you're also getting your water soluble properties out of the plant, because your plants have several different soluble properties. Oil, which is another thing that we'll go into later, not today. Oil, alcohol, water, things like that. So like when you're making a tea, you get your water soluble properties out of that plant, which is still beautiful and amazing, but some people like to do the alcohol soluble properties as well. So when you get 100 proof, you're getting 50% alcohol soluble and 50% water soluble properties out of your plant. I have ants crawling on me. I might have to move in a minute. I'm going to anyways because I've got other tinctures to make. But today I'm just using vodka. I do know that some people will use like grain alcohol, like 190 proof. That's not necessary, because then you're basically only getting your alcohol soluble properties out of your plant, if that makes sense. Because that's literally just 10% water. So you're going to take your jar, you're going to take your alcohol. Now, if you wanted to make an elixir, you could put some honey in here or sugar in here. Most people make elixirs with honey. So, I may. It smells so good. Add some honey to this later down the road, but for now, I'm just doing a tincture. What is the purpose of a tincture? Sometimes tinctures are just easier. You add a few drops to a glass of water and you can drink it instead of brewing tea and things like that. It's also really good for preserving your plant medicine. Again, you can dry them and put them in tea, but then you're not getting those alcohol soluble properties. And sometimes making a tea is not convenient. You can't just carry little jars of herbs in your bag wherever you go and brew tea anywhere you're at. So sometimes it's easier to carry medicine in a little tincture bottle. I have tincture bottles that I keep in my bag all the time for medicine on the go. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I hope you guys can see good. It's kind of dark, and I'm sorry if my video is dark. I'm literally going to pour alcohol over this until my jar is full. Oh, I have an ant crawling on me. I didn't want that to go down my shirt, and I spilled alcohol. Be mindful of bugs. So, you're going to pour this jar full of alcohol. You're going to put it in a cool, dark place for 6 to 8 weeks. And then you can strain it out and you have your medicine. Do you have to strain it out? Because I forget tinctures frequently. I do. It happens. You don't have to strain it out. It's not necessary. It's not going to go bad. It's sitting in alcohol. It's preserved. If anything, your tincture might be a little bit stronger, but chances are all of those properties are pulled out of the plant matter already anyways. I like to try to pour it as much to the top as I possibly can so I don't get oxidation in there. Then you're going to put your lid on. Give it a little shake just because there may be some settling. And no, it's pretty good and full. Sometimes you got to add more alcohol at the end. But literally, this is your tincture. You're going to put it in a cool, dark place for 6 to 8 weeks. And then you're going to strain it out. I hate the fact that you can't see how pretty that is. It's driving me crazy. That may not work. I might have to work on my camera angles. There, you can kind of see it. Anyhow, I will take videos more later and just show you guys the tinctures that I've made. But literally, cool, dark place, 6 to 8 weeks, strain it out, and then you have medicine. It doesn't really go bad. I know people will say, like, you know, oh, your tinctures are good for a year. You know, they have found old apothecaries from hundreds of years ago, and all of the medicine that they tested, all of the tinctures and things like that, still have medicinal properties. So the medicinal properties may lower, but they're not going to disappear. I have tinctures that I made 8-9 years ago, and they're still effective. So that is tincture making with Linden. I am now going to move on to a different